And Country Party Time is on the air again. Hi, everybody. This is Lance Hawkins, your jovial host, coming your way again this week with some more great country music. And we got a lot of great songs. I know I said it every week, but we do. Each week I'm able to gather a whole bunch of my favorites, and I hope they're your favorites too. This week we're going to feature music by Joe and Rosalie Mathis, Webb Pierce, Loretta Lynn, one of her first records on the Zero label. Let's see, Red Simpson, Melville Montgomery, I like this guy's name, Lance Carpenter. And we'll be hearing all of those, including more, on this week's edition of Country Party Time. Let's go back right now to the year of 1972. It doesn't seem that long ago that I used to hear this song, but yeah, it's 1972, the record label says. This is a guy by the name of Jackie Ward. He's going to do a song that was a big song back in the 50s for... let's see, Jimmy Dean had a record on this. I'm trying to think of the guy that did it originally. It just was on my mind. Red Nichols, on the King label. But this is from 1972 on the Target label. This is Jackie Ward and Big Blue Diamonds right here on Country Party Time.
Big blue diamond on her finger. Instead of that little band of gold. Big blue diamond, tell a story of a love that no one man could ever hold. She wanted more than I had money to buy, so she left me for a stranger, I've been told. Big blue diamond, now she traded for the love behind that little band of gold. Big blue diamond, how they sparkle. But what can they do to warm your soul? When you're lonesome in the moonlight and need some love. Big blue diamonds are so cold. She wanted more than I had money, so she left me for a stranger, I've been told. Big blue diamond, now she traded for the love behind that little band of gold. For the love behind that little band of gold.
Lost your love, lost your kiss, it's the end of the line. I gotta give up before I crack up and lose my mind. I just left my baby's house, she just told me goodbye. I gotta get out of town before it gets around that a big man cried. Oh yes, a big man cried. There were tears in my eyes as I stood and watched my baby close the door. Oh yes, a big man cried, 'cause he realized that the big man ain't such a big man anymore. I gotta make tracks, I can't look back. I gotta move on down the line. I gotta heartache I can't take, and I'm losing time. I keep calling my baby's name because I'm so ashamed. I gotta get out of town before it gets around that a big man cried. Oh yes, a big man cried. There were tears in my eyes as I stood and watched my baby close the door. Oh yes, a big man cried, 'cause he realized that the big man ain't such a big man anymore. No, a big man ain't such a big man anymore.
Over and out. The way we talk, sometimes you think our love is filled with doubt. But when we're all alone by the fireside of our home, the angry words we spoke that day have forever gone away. Then it's love we talk about, to the world outside we say 10-4, over and out.
Hello, this is Unit 2 calling Unit 1. This is Unit 2 trying Unit 1. Do you read me, Unit 1? Do you read me?
Yeah, I read you, Unit 2. I sure can read you, just like a book is all. And I know what you call for, I know what you're gonna say. I'm gonna be a little bit late. Well, I know you're a little bit late. They're usually 2 or 3 or 4, or sometimes even more hours long, and I am sick and tired of
10-4
it.
over and out.
10-4, over and out. The way we talk, sometimes you think our love is filled with doubt. But when we're all alone by the fireside of our home, the angry words we spoke that day have forever gone away. Then it's love we talk about, to the world outside we say 10-4, over and out.
This is Unit 1 calling Unit 2. Do you read me, Unit 2? You better answer me, Unit 2. I'm getting sick of fooling with this CB radio. I'm gonna cram this thing down your throat. Do you read me?
Do I? Golly. I read you, Unit 1, loud and clear, but it seems like there's a little turbulence on the line. Honey, I'm sorry that I'm running so late, but I stopped off here to see this friend of mine that's been awfully sick. And when I got back to the car, you know, this radio had run my battery down. I know it's hard for you to believe.
Oh, I believe you. I really do
I
believe
tried
you.
to call you
I'll
every way.
CBing you. 10-4, over and out.
10-4, over and out. The way we talk, sometimes you think our love is filled with doubt. But when we're all alone by the fireside of our home, the angry words we spoke that day have forever gone away. Then it's love we talk about, to the world outside we say 10-4, over and out.
10-4, baby, I'm gonna have to be clear with you. I'm
Oh, you'll
moving
never
on.
be clear in your life. You were
I'm
born
gonna get rid of this
unfortunate
radio. It's
now.
gonna
That's
get me
right.
killed.
I'm gonna
I'll
have to
tell you
get rid of
the
that radio just soon as
Everybody
you
in
get
the
home.
country knows what we're talking about till
Yeah,
they
I
listen
know.
in on it.
I
And
know.
you raring that minute. carrying
Talking
on.
dirty and everything.
10-4. 10-4.
Run, please run. Don't walk away so slowly. Don't stop to say goodbye. Or else I know this cheating heart of mine is gonna cry. Or it's my turn to spend each night alone with wrongs I've done. Don't walk away so slowly. Run. the door. I know I'm due this departure, but I just can't take much more. Don't linger to remind me of wrongs I know I've done. Don't walk away so slowly. Run, please run. So slowly, hurry through the door. I know I'm due this departure, but I just can't take much more. Don't linger to remind me of wrongs I know I've done. Don't walk away so slowly. Run, please run.
On the D label for that particular one, that is Country Johnny Mathis and Run, Please Run. And I've always said I could never figure out why Country Johnny Mathis had to change his name. The reason being is because there was another Johnny Mathis, as we all know, a pop singer, and then we had Country Johnny Mathis, and I don't know why he couldn't have stayed Johnny Mathis and the pop singer had to change his name. That's mind-boggling to me, but I guess they figured that was easier just to put country in front of Johnny Mathis's name, and that's a song called Run, Please Run. I know a lot of folks said, oh, well, that's Johnny Mathis, the pop singer. He's just doing country music. No, two different people for various reasons. Alrighty, and right now, I'm sorry, we didn't tell you who all we played. So let me do that for you right now. Before Country Johnny Mathis, we heard from Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton from an album called Together Always. And a very dear friend of mine, Greg Fowler, bought me that album for Christmas one year. And that was my favorite track on the entire album, 10-4 Over and Out. Before that, we heard one of the few British records I have in my collection. We heard from Sammy Masters. And Sammy Masters was a California country singer. He first made his mark in rockabilly with a song called Pink Cadillac and also a song called Rockin' Red Wing. And he later went to country music and sang such songs as A Big Man Cried, which we just heard on the London label out of, guess what, London, England. And but that was issued in the States originally on the Galahad label and then later on Cap Records. Sammy Masters, great entertainer. And also the host of a TV show called Cal's Corral. Then we started it all off with Jackie Ward, a song, and I've got to correct myself. I said Red Nichols. It was actually Red Perkins who did that on King Records. A song written by Kit Carson. That's Jackie Ward's version of Big Blue Diamond. Well, right now we are going to hear a legendary song before. It was recorded before it was a legendary song. This particular song was released on the flip side of a song called Motel Time. And the disc jockeys said it was too dirty. I've heard the song. While it has some double entendres, it really is not that filthy of a record. It's kind of cute, actually. But the DJs quit playing that because they figured it was too dirty. However, some of them flipped the record over and played the B-side, which is this particular song. And it became a big, big smash for Jimmy Heap, the Melly Masters, and also Ray Price had a record on it. It's become a country standard and somewhat of a pop standard. Engelbert Humperdinck had a big hit on this about 1964 or 65. But here is the original version of this by its writer, Eddie Miller. Eddie Miller and the Oklahomans on 4-Star Records. Release Me and Let Me Love Again. You're listening to Country Party Time on ThunRadio.com.
let me go. I don't love you anymore. To live together is a sin. Release me and let me love again. I found a new love, dear, and I'll always want her near. Her lips are warm while yours are cold. Release me, darling, let me go. Loved your lovely face. Now someone will take your place. Can't you see that you can't win? Release me and let me love again. Oh, please release me, let me go. I don't love you anymore. To live together is a sin. Release me and let me love again.
Walk back to your table, order yourself a drink, 'cause the end to all of your worry is closer than you think. There's always a clown like you around, putting on a show. You're a loud back-slapping, big-mouth yakking nightclub Romeo. Walk back to your table while you still have the chance. I brought her here, I'll buy the drinks, and I just love to dance. There's always a clown like you around, every girl's fair game to you. Everything was fine till you picked on mine, so I'll tell you what to do. Walk back to your table, order yourself a drink, 'cause the end to all your worry is closer than you think. There's always a clown like you around, putting on a show. You're a loud back-slapping, big-mouth yakking nightclub Romeo. You never bring a girl of your own, I'll admit it's the cheapest way. But when you go to a poker game, you buy chips before you play. Everything here is well in hand, if I need you, I'll let you know. Take my advice, I won't tell you twice, I think you'd better go. Walk back to your table, order yourself a drink, 'cause the end to all of your worry is closer than you think. There's always a clown like you around, putting on a show. You're a loud back-slapping, big-mouth yakking nightclub Romeo.
I'm gonna wear the pants.
I'm gonna tell you which pair to wear.
I'm gonna be the boss little gal, so you better beware.
You can rattle your change and put on the dog and act like a millionaire.
Well, I'm gonna wear the pants, little darling,
And I'll tell you which pair to wear.
We got married about a year ago and we built a little home for two.
The very first week you started acting like a man and telling me what to do.
Well, I said that I was gonna wear the pants, and the big boss I'm going to be.
You'll have to get up early in the morning to get ahead of little old me.
I'm gonna wear the pants.
I'm gonna tell you which pair to wear.
I'm gonna be the boss little gal, so you better beware.
You can rattle your change and put on the dog and act like a millionaire.
I'm gonna wear the pants, little darling,
and I'll tell you which pair to wear.
Well, man has been the boss of the house since this world's begun. I'm not the one to change all that, so let me tell you something, hun.
As long as I let you think you're the boss, we'll get along just fine. But when you start believing it, that's where I draw the line.
I'm gonna wear the pants,
I'm gonna tell you which pair to wear.
I'm gonna be the boss, Rosalie, so you better beware.
You can rattle your change, put on the dog, and act like a millionaire.
I'm gonna wear the pants, little darling,
and I'll tell you which pair to wear.
When I start to feeling my oats and I want to blow off a little steam, you start wagging your jaw and laying down the law when I'm trying to act real mean.
I'll let you have your fun for a while, but I tell you what I'm gonna do. When you get too big for your britches, I'm gonna take you down a size or two.
I'm gonna wear the pants,
I'm gonna tell you which pair to wear.
well, I'm gonna be the boss, little gal, so you better beware.
You can rattle your change and put on the dog and act like a millionaire.
Well, I'm gonna wear the pants, little darling,
and I'll tell you which pair to wear.
I'm gonna wear the pants, little darling,
and I'll tell you which pair to wear.
I walk a mile most every day, see that girl of mine, to tell her that I love her so. Watch her blue eyes shine, I watch those blue eyes shine. With corn silk hair and turned up nose, she's a little bit shy. She'll blush each time I kiss her cheek, then turn her head and ride. Turn her head and ride. Well, I don't know if you don't know. If you don't know, how would I know? Tell me, does she love me so? Well, I don't know. Don't you know? You told me that you love me. On this I could depend. Then I found out that you were telling this to other men. This to other men. I'm coming over there today, laying down the law. You'll either keep my steady date, or I'm gonna tell you, Paul. Yes, I'll tell you, Ma. Well, I don't know if you don't know. If you don't know, how would I know? Tell me, does she love me so? Well, I don't know. Don't you know? We were married yesterday, our lives are full of joy. The one thing now we want the most is the bouncing baby boy, a bouncing baby boy. We built our home, we turned the soil, we done most everything. Now she tells me with a smile, he'll be here in the spring. Be here in the spring. Well, I don't know if you don't know. If you don't know, how would I know? The doctor said it's really so. He should know, don't you know? Our pride and joy arrived on time. Everything was fine. I'm standing looking through the glass. You could tell that boy was mine. You could tell that boy was mine. I asked her what she named our boy. With a smile she did reply, I hope that you don't mind too much, but I called her Nellie Bly. I called her Nellie Bly. Well, I don't know if you don't know. If you don't know, how would I know? I just know I love her so. I should know, don't you know?
On the K-Star label, that is Sterling Blythe, and I don't know. No, really, I don't know. That's the title of the song, of course, by the great Sterling Blythe, gentleman who had a great album called A Night at the Showboat, recorded the now destroyed Showboat Club, Casino and Hotel in Las Vegas. And that came out in the early 60s or late 50s. I'm not sure which. But good song. He wrote that called I Don't Know. And that featured the great lead guitar work of Joe Maphis, who we heard in the previous song with his wife, Rose Lee. And Joe and Rose Lee did I'm Gonna Wear the Pants. Kind of a rare recording from them, but a great song nonetheless. Boy, talk about a male show. Anyway, then from 1964, we heard Gene Davis on the Tapa label and Nightclub Rodeo. And Romeo, not Rodeo. Romeo. Okay, Romeo. Or far art thou, Romeo. And before we started all off with Eddie Miller and Release Me and Let Me Love Again. You're in tune with Country Party Time. My name is Lance Hawkins, and we got all the great country records for you, including this one. This is Roy Drusky, and Roy Drusky was a great singer and songwriter and a mainstay on the Grand Ole Opry, and he had a lot of hits. Another, Anymore, Three Hearts and a Tangle, and the flip side of this record, which was called White Lightning Express. But we're not going to hear any of those. We're going to hear something completely different, okay? This is, as I mentioned, the flip side of White Lightning Express. I like this one's got some great loud steel guitar work from Mr. Pete Drake. Here's Roy with A Lonely Thing Called Me. You're listening to Country Party Time. My name is Lance Hawkins, and we do it all for you exclusively on thumbinradio.com.
I just use it to love you, but without you it's no good to me. So don't ever leave me, or this heart would be just a part of a lonely thing called me. Others may tempt you and tell you they care, but you'll just find sorrow in a secret love affair. My life is yours, but without you it would be just a part of a lonely thing called me. Just use them to hold you, but they just can't hold a memory. So don't ever leave me, or these arms would be just a part of a lonely thing called me. Others may tempt you and tell you they care, but you'll just find sorrow in a secret love affair. My life is yours, but without you it would be just a part of a lonely thing called me.
Yeah, you'll be back. You'll come running back up to me. When you're tired of all of your other loves, you'll come running back to me. You say you're tired of being held down. You wanna be footloose and free. When your little flame starts dying out, you'll come running back to me. Well, you'll be back, yeah, you'll be back. You'll come running back to me. When you're tired of all of your other loves, you'll come running back to me. Tired of being locked up in love, so baby, here's the key. Unlock the lock and let yourself go. You'll come running back to me. Well, you'll be back, yeah, you'll be back. You'll come running back to me. When you're tired of all of your other loves, you'll come running back to me. Well, you'll be back, yeah, you'll be back. You'll come running back to me. When you're tired of all of your other loves, you'll come running back to me.
I'm going crazy, walking the floor, can't go to sleep, drinking coffee and trying to keep from thinking about you. I'm going crazy, I never knew such misery could just come in and take over me and drive me crazy. Well, if I just had you back, I'd be here so late. I'd give you back all the love you gave to me. I'm going crazy, my life's just misery. When you walked out the door, I just laughed and said, I won't ever worry over you. But little did I know how much I love you so. Believe me, dear, I've never been so blue. I'm going crazy, walking the floor, can't go to sleep, drinking coffee and trying to keep from thinking about you. I'm going crazy, I never knew such misery could just come in and take over me and drive me crazy. Well, if I just had you back, I'd be your slave. I'd give you back all the love you gave to me. I'm going crazy, my life's just misery.
Of my life, darling, when you told me you were leaving, I thought that you were only fooling me. But here I am to face old blue tomorrow, with a broken heart that's filled with misery. It seems that my world is to an end, just dreaming of things that could have been. Oh, why don't that old sun
just before dawn. And only God in heaven knows my heart is aching. And only you can keep this heart of mine from breaking. It seems that my world is to its end, just dreaming of things that could have been. Oh, why don't that old sunshine bright? Today's the darkest day of my life.
An early recording from Miss Loretta Lynn, something that she cut for Zero Records from about the year of 1960, and The Darkest Day. And great song, kind of, I'm going to tell you an eerie story in just a second, but it's kind of strange that we played two Zero records back to back, considering they didn't have that many releases, but we heard Loretta Lynn on Zero. Previous to that, we heard from Gene Mack, also on Zero Records, I'm Going Crazy. Now, I got to tell you a little story about that particular record, and it's something that happened. You know, when I tell different things, you know, either I've witnessed them or I've read about them. This I actually witnessed with my own two eyes. I have a very dear friend who now lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by the name of Greg Drust. And Greg was doing a radio show on KCSB in Santa Barbara. One of his guests was a gentleman by the name of Jackie Lee Joaquin Cochran, who was a very well-known rockabilly singer and recorded for Sims and Decca and Rolling Rock. And he's a big draw over in Europe, or was a big draw. Unfortunately, we lost Jack several years ago. But he was on the show, and I asked Greg if I could play a song called Lover's Moon by Gary Bryant. And Greg said, no, I want to play this one for Jack. And he didn't tell me what one it was. He just said, you know, it's the one on Zero. And I said, oh, that's good, because I know, again, Zero didn't put out that many records. So he puts it on, kicks it, hits the power button onto the turntable. All of a sudden, Jack got this strange look on his face, and he said, and I quote, "That's my song. That's my damn song." And I'm looking he says, I wrote that song. I've never heard it. And I looked at the label as it was going around, and lo and behold, on the record label, it said, I'm Going Crazy, and the writer's credit was to Jackie Cochran. They misspelled his name on the label, but he wrote that for Marty Robbins and Hilary Sputtram's publishing company, BR Music. And that is the record there. That's the most strangest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. And I want to share that with you. But that's Gene Mack, and I'm Going Crazy. Before that, we heard from legendary country singer Webb Pierce, and You'll Come Back. And I remember that being played on my aunt's turntable many, many times. And we started all off with Roy Drusky and A Lonely Thing Called Me. Well, right now we're going to move on to the Starday label and hear from a duet that put out a few Starday records and again disappeared from the scene altogether. Don't know where these people are, if they're still with us or what, but they had a good duet. This is Peggy Upton and Danny Buck. And What You Doing Tonight? I hope you're listening to Country Party Time on ThumminRadio.com.
You're sweet,
I'm sweet,
so neat, from your head to your feet.
I taught you the wrong from the right.
You're the one
come on.
that could make
Sure.
my life complete. So what you gonna do tonight? Don't you want a little loving and a little bit of hugging beneath the stars so bright?
If I get a little kiss and see what I've been missing,
That's what we're gonna do tonight. Both of us could make
yeah, we could.
this life complete. So what you gonna do tonight? arms. So what you gonna do tonight? You're a little bitty dandy and you're sweet as candy. I'd love to hold you tight. So why should we tarry if you're ready to marry? 'Cause what we're gonna do tonight. You're the one I'd love to hold in my arms. Oh, what you gonna do tonight? Oh, what you gonna do tonight?
Everybody's gotta be somewhere, but I ain't a-getting nowhere. 'Cause where I wanna be is there with you. Everybody's gotta be somewhere, and where I am I don't care. For somebody else is out there doing things we used to do. Everybody's gotta be somewhere, but look where I wound up. Lost out here in this lonesome world, begging like a speckled pup. Everybody's gotta be somewhere, but where I am I can't bear. And wherever you are out there, I still wanna be with you. Everybody's gotta be somewhere, but look where I wound up. Lost out here in this lonesome world, begging like a speckled pup. Everybody's gotta be somewhere, and where I am I can't bear. And wherever you are out there, I still wanna be with you. Wherever you are out there, I still wanna be with you.
Did you ever come home just as high as a kite and have your wife meet you at the door? You say to her, well, I just had to work late, and bang, you are laying on the floor. What you do is giggle, grin, snicker. Ah, can't, why worry? 'Cause that's how the pickle squirts, 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 and that's how the cookie crumbles. Have you ever been driving along in your car and turned around to look at a blonde? The next thing you know, your car is wrapped around a tree, and your trunk is where your radiator used to be. What you do is giggle, grin, snicker. Count 10, why worry? 'Cause that's how the pickle squirts, 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 and that's how the cookie crumbles. Did you ever go out on a strange double date? You've never seen the girl before, and when she shows up you just don't know what to do, 'cause your steady girl comes walking through the door. What you do is giggle, grin, snicker. Count 10, why worry? 'Cause that's how the pickle squirts, 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 and that's how the cookie crumbles. And that's how the pickle squirts. we were gonna get a job working in the copper mine. But we had a change of plan in a town called San Manuel and decided that we'd try our luck at crime. We thought, why should we work when we can get it free? So that night we robbed Gordon's grocery store. We got cigarettes, 6-packs, candy and bologna, and the law got us before we got out the door. Well, they hauled us over to Mammoth, Arizona, and they locked us up tight in that Mammoth jail. But lucky for us, I had 2 brothers living close. They came down and they went our bail. They had our court in Casa Grande, and I thought sure that we were headed for the pen. But that old judge just gave us 6 months on probation and said, don't ever come back to Arizona again. That's been many years ago, but it taught me a lesson, and I've never broke the law anymore. But I'll never forget San Manuel, Arizona, and the night that we robbed Gordon's grocery store. That is, we tried. The night that we robbed Gordon's grocery store, they tackled me inside. The night that we robbed Gordon's grocery store.
Now, the moral of that story is crime don't pay. That is, unless you record a song about it. That's Red Simpson and Gordon's Grocery Store. Before that, we heard from Spade Nielsen and the Gamblers from the upper Midwest, and a song called Pickle Squirts. That's on the RCA label. Before that, we heard from Norville Dollar and Everybody's Gotta Be Somewhere. And that's true. And that was on Nugget Records. And we started all off with the Starday recording of Peggy Upton and Danny Buck and What You Gonna Do Tonight. Well, this is Lance Hawkins. I'm playing all these great songs for you right here on Country Party Time, and man, loving every minute of it. I mean to tell you, it's a lot of fun. And I'll shut up right now. We'll get back to the music. Here's Melba Montgomery, one of her first records, also on the Nugget label. This is called Just Another Fool, and we'll let the steel guitar of Buddy Emmons kick it off.
She'll win the tug of war and ask her for a cold, cold heart of clay. Then you'll know the meaning of the hurt I can't forget when you're just another fool along the way. Part you play. I know it's just a game to you, and I'm one of the cast. Yes, just another fool along the way. Someday you'll meet another, and she'll win the top of war, and ask her for a cold, cold heart of clay. you're just another fool along the way.
No right to love you or hold you tight, but wrong or right, I must be with you tonight. No right to hold you or call your name. You belong to another, but darling, I feel no shame. Why fight this feeling and call it a day? We know we're not perfect, so why act that way? So just for these moments, I'll hold you tight. No right to love you, but I love you. Yes, I love you. Wrong or right, two guilty shadows in the shelter of night. We know we're not perfect, and this love isn't right. So just for these moments, I'll hold you tight. No right to love you, but I love you. Yes, I love you. Wrong or right, no right to love you, but I love you. Yes, I love you. Wrong or right.
I left each morning right at 9. Got into that truck of mine. Each day I earned my pay by hauling concrete ready mixed. Up and down the roads I drove with half a house and every load. I thought my wife just stayed at home alone from 9 till 6. I know a cement mixer driver is no knight in shining armor, but I did the best I could, just trying to keep her satisfied. I thought we got along so well, somehow I just couldn't tell. I never once suspected her of cheating on the side. I was driving down the main street with my mixer full of concrete. She was sitting close beside him in his Thunderbird so fine. I turned around and followed them to his house where they both went in. They closed the door behind them. Burning anger filled my mind. I never even said a word, just backed up to that Thunderbird. I put the concrete funnel spout right in the driver's seat. I pulled the cord, out it poured right up level with the door. I filled that car with 7 yards of ready-mixed concrete. It happened all so fast that day. I took my truck and went away. never to return or ever see her face again. But I think about them now and then. I wish I could have been there when they found they were the victims of a ready-mixed revenge.
It's 2:30 and she was due at 9. Ready hard. It's break time. I remember when the clock showed 10 chime. Yes, it tried to tell us then it was break time. Sure, I know it's gonna hurt, but hard it wasn't in my plan. You know I'd save you if I could, but heart, you're in her hands, and hearts break and learn, and it's your turn. I see the sign. Yeah, you better get ready, heart. It's break time. It's break time. It's break time. Sure, I know it's gonna hurt, but hard it wasn't in my plan. You know I'd save you if I could, but heart, you're in her hands, and hearts break and learn, and it's your turn. I see the sign. Yes, you better get ready, heart. It's break time. Oh, you better get ready, heart. It's break time.
Well, there's a bouncy little tune. That is Vern Stovall and the Showman on Longhorn Records and Break Time. Before that, I love this song. We heard from Lance Carpenter on Stop Records and Ready Mixed Revenge. I love that song. Love the plot of that. Very, very fine. Lance Carpenter. And I like his name, too. Okay? Alrighty. Before that, on Music Horror Records, we heard from LaFawn Paul and No Right to Love You. And we started it all off with Melba Montgomery featuring the great steel guitar work of Buddy Emmons and the dobro work of Shot Jackson on Nugget Records and Just Another Fool. And Vern says, it's break time. It sure is. A 1-week break. But we'll be back again next week, this time with more great country music right here on Country Party Time. I'm Lance Hawkins. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I know I say that a lot, but it is true. It is very true. And I love this country music just as much as you folks are enjoying it. Probably more because I'm getting to present it to you. So until next week, everybody, again, I'm Lance Hawkins. Have a great week and be good to yourself, okay? Goodbye now.